Chelsea Football Club chairman Todd Boehly was in Saudi Arabia discussing future sales, and we've got the scoop that's been leaked all over the place for the names of the players that are going to be going potentially. And more importantly, sponsorship talks, because we need this club to be fully functioning and running. There have been conversations with the airline, Riyadh Airline, and the Jordan brand, and the terms and conditions of what Chelsea need to do to be in contention for the Jordan brand are actually very interesting. I'm telling you now, if we get that Jordan deal, you are going to see me milk the crap out of every single clothing I'm going to have. It's literally going to be Chelsea top 1, Chelsea top 2, training kit 2, training kit 4. I am going to be wearing Jordan gear all the time. Love it, absolutely excited. The clauses though, are they achievable? Yes, they are. Then we need to talk about Pochettino. I am here to actually give him some praise today. Everybody knows I'd rather he get sacked. Everybody knows he is not the man to take Chelsea to the future, in my opinion. However, I'm here to give praise because I am realistic and honest when it comes to giving somebody praise when they earned it. And finally, Raheem Sterling, brother. I'm telling you now, these stats aren't looking good for you, geezer. And Mikhailo Mudryk, stats are looking good for you as well. So we'll get into the little nuts and bolts of all the statistics, because some players are consistently performing in the league and some players aren't. But this will be covered in today's video. I know you're going to enjoy it because you made it this far, and our attention span in 2024 isn't that great. So what I ask for you guys as a kind thank you is hit the like button. We're aiming for 1,000 likes. Subscribe, because we're 70 people away from 33,000. So that's a great way of doing it. So help the channel out. And now I'm going to deliver the content that I promised. Let's get on with it. So the reports are coming out that Todd Boehly was in Saudi Arabia and he was discussing Chelsea Football Club at the tip of his tongue. He was talking to different club owners, he was talking to different entities, and he was trying to negotiate two things. We're going to start with the stuff on the pitch, and then we're going to move to the stuff off the pitch. But on the pitch, number one, they were discussing certain players to be selling. Look, you need to understand, Chelsea have still got a lot of names on their books that they would rather not have. When Todd Boehly was the sporting director, because they couldn't get Edwards from Liverpool, there was a lot of mistakes done. Contracts were handed out, and then when Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart came in, everything got flipped. Wages that were paid at that moment in time are not getting paid anymore. And the problem is we've got players on the old wages that are just sitting there and getting crazy sums of money. So after a summer of selling, especially a lot of talent to Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Arabian market is coming back for more. And there are 3 players apparently that were discussed. Matt Law has openly disclosed this. Number one, Romelu Lukaku. He's got a £37 million release clause, and Todd Boehly was already starting conversations to get him out there. Romelu Lukaku has recently opened up and warmed up to the idea of moving there. I think it's because he's realizing his options in Europe are very limited, and there is a lot of money for Mr. Romelu Lukaku to earn out there. We will get £16.9 million a year off our wage bill if we can move him on. Then player number 2 is Kepa. I don't know whether Kepa's going to go. Kepa's a difficult one because I think Kepa in his head still believes he's good enough to play at a certain level. However, Kepa Arrizabalaga didn't prove himself at Real Madrid, didn't prove himself at Chelsea, and at the moment, I am really interested to see what the market would be looking for, for Kepa. At the moment, he's earning $7 million in salaries a year from Chelsea. Chelsea will try to move him on, but he's going into the final year of his contract. So I think Chelsea would just be happy to get him off the books and save that money in terms of the balance sheet, because I don't see anyone paying any money for Kepa or anything significant that Chelsea would be looking for, around about £15 million. So I don't see that happening. The final player that they were talking about apparently is Marc Cucurella. Cucurella came back yesterday, looked fairly decent, nothing special, made a mistake, but it's expected when the gentleman hasn't played football for a significant period of time. However, and this is the big one, he earns around 9.1 million. He's got 4 years left on his deal, and I highly doubt that Marc Cucurella will be easy to move on. But the real question resides in my head: why is Marc Cucurella the one that we're going to try and move on when we have Ben Chilwell on the books? Injury prone, seriously high wages, and roughly the same age as Marc Cucurella. Or I think Cucurella is even younger. Cucurella can play more positions, and in my opinion, Cucurella is just as good, if not better. He's better in a possession-based side, and I think he's got more tenacity in tackles, and he actually closes people down for crosses. So for me, it's an interesting give or take. Matt Law also went on to mention that 3 youth players or 3 graduates from Cobham are going to be up for sale in the summer potentially. One being Trevor Chalobah, which we knew about. Second one being Armando Broja, which we knew about. And the third one could be Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher's contract is absolutely dragging on. I think we're going to get more and more stories that come out about Conor Gallagher, but I'm really tired about talking about Conor Gallagher. We're just going to find out what's going to happen because everybody knows my perspective. I think Conor's a good player. I think Conor has a spot at Chelsea the way that Vasquez has at Real Madrid. A graduate that comes off the bench, that plays pivotal games here and there, is a role player, can play in multiple different positions. There is room for a player of that magnitude. However, Vasquez earns a certain amount of money and it's not starter money. So I don't know whether Conor's camp want a certain figure, whether Chelsea's camp don't want to pay him that figure. That's the finances. When we get more information on that, we'll cover it. But up to now, that's the football and related stories. Now on to the sponsorships. The second part of the story is that Chelsea are currently talking to multiple different entities regarding the sponsorship that's going to be on their shirt. So Riyadh Airlines is one of those, and this is a Saudi-based airline company, and Todd Bowley was there apparently negotiating on Chelsea's behalf. They've been speaking to other entities, and this is something that's important, right? We need to be generating around about the £40 million per year mark. That's what the top clubs are getting. I think Manchester United with Team Viewer is around about 53 million. But we're not as big as Manchester United. Our exposure is nowhere as big as Manchester United. And we need to start winning a lot more league titles and maybe some more Champions Leagues before we can start comparing ourselves to Manchester United in terms of marketing value and growth of the brand. But I think we can compete with the Arsenals, the Tottenhams, the Manchester Cities. Like, we can do it with them. We're in a nice part of London where Chelsea, we're right next to this, like the Marble Arch, Sloane Square, like everything's accessible. There's so much marketability, there's so much notoriety that where you can literally brand with Chelsea Football Club. So teams from other companies will want to be part of Chelsea's. Like, you look at Chelsea Football Club, you see a brand. There's a reason why we can just attract that kind of fees. However, the one that I want to talk about is Jordan Brand is leaving PSG. It's been confirmed. And it makes sense. No more Kylian Mbappe, no more Messi, no more Neymar. It makes sense that they're going to move on. Like, who's going to be branding for them? Colomwani, Marquinhos, and Donnarumma. Nah, they just don't have the appeal. And no one watched the Uber Eat League. So the reality is, apparently they want a London-based club. They can't get Arsenal because Adidas and Jordan won't work together because it's a Nike-based entity. So it just leaves Chelsea and West Ham, I think, as well as Spurs. Well, Chelsea have got one issue. The Jordan Brand apparently are very reluctant to do business with anyone that's not going to be in A, the Europa League, or B, the Champions League. And Chelsea need to secure this. For me, I think this will be a poor sign if Chelsea don't secure the Jordan Brand, purely based on the fact that we must still maintain dominance off the pitch if we're not dominant on the pitch. Because we can't have Spurs and Arsenal start claiming they run London, because I don't think they do. For 20 years, we've been humiliating them. For 20 years, we have been the it club. For 20 years, this is 2 generations of kids that have been grown up watching football, understand that London is... So for me, this is a massive step. I want the Jordan clothing because I think it'll look sick, but I also think it's a statement. So we need to make top 6 or top 7 if the 5th place is given to England for the Champions League. And this is how I think we can do it. So what I'm going to explain now is Maurizio Pochettino. I've looked at this season in nine gaming, and the reason I look at it in 9 game increments is because I feel like I always said, no matter how bad the results were, I'm going to give them to halfway point of the season, then we're going to judge you, Maurizio. Because I'm going to give you 6 months, or not even 6 months, I'm going to give you half a season when you play everybody in the league, and this is going to be your opportunity for me after that to see where are we at, have we improved, and are we going to be better? Sadly, Maurizio Pochettino didn't impress me. First 9 games, he got 3 wins, 12 points. Second 9 games, he got 3 wins, 10 points. So we've got worse in the next 9. In this 9, we done really well. We got 17 and 5 wins out of 9. 2 draws, two defeats. The 2 defeats being Liverpool and Wolves. Humiliating losses, but for some reason, it feels a lot worse. Like, you know, like the narrative around us, even though we've won 5 of the last 9 in the league, it's so negative. Yet, I think Mauricio Pochettino can still have a strong end to the season. The next 4 Premier League fixtures are so favourable. They are ridiculously favourable to the point where I think if we don't pick up at least 10 points from these games, we are embarrassing. If we pick up 12, I'm telling you now, 6th could be on the card. That's how good this run is. Burnley at home, number 1. That needs to be 3 points. That can't even be non-negotiable. That has to be 3 points. The state we're in, going for the Jordan brand, because it is imperative. I'm telling you, I want the clothes. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, we want Europa League, but I want the Jordan brand. Then, Manchester United at home. Guys, we have to beat somebody that's a big club at home. We have to. One of the top 6. We drew with Arsenal. We drew with Liverpool, we drew with Manchester City, we've got Spurs coming across, and we've got United. Poch, we have to pull that one out the bag. They're not as good as they think they are. Then there's 2 entities after that. Sheffield United away, Everton at home. If we can't beat those 2 and get 12 points, we are absolutely horrible. We have to, we must beat those teams. We get those 12 points and all of a sudden, 7 games to go. It starts to get some belief. It will give us some element of, you know what? Maybe we're in a semi-final of the FA Cup. We've got 7 games. We could get Europa League and maybe an FA Cup. And it will put a good end, a positive end to the season. And you know what? Some of you can say, Poch ain't going to get sacked then, Alex. So be it. You know why I'm saying so be it? Because then if we start winning 4 or 5 games in a row, maybe something's clicking. Maybe Poch's tactics are finally coming through. Maybe Poch is not that fraud that he's shown himself to be at this moment in time. Or maybe we get a true taste of what this manager is in the long run. Let's back the team. I know it's very hard at the moment because a lot of us want him gone. And it's very easy to be negative right now. I want to be positive, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm not deluded. I'm not going to say we're going to win every game from now to the end of the season. We've got Arsenal, we've got Spurs, we've got Brighton away. They're going to be tough games. But the next 4 are winnable, man. They really are. So I want this team to step up. I want this team to start making statements. And for me, it starts with just collecting 3 points. Leicester's next. But after that, international break's over. We've got important home games. Come on, boys. Finally, I want to talk about our goal scorers this year. Because our goal scorers this year have been really impressive from a standpoint where certain players are contributing, certain players are not. Cole Palmer has got 11 goals in the league with 19 starts and 23 appearances. For me, that is a tremendous return from a player that is playing his first year regular football anywhere. And he's been absolutely marvellous. Like, stats don't need to lie. Nico Jackson's got 9 goals, and the 9 goals have come in 20 starts, 24 appearances overall. For me, that's very good. Yes, he's getting regular minutes. However, Nico's gone through really peaks and troughs. He started off really well, then he dipped down a bit, then he got well, and then he dipped down a bit, and now he's well again. So for me, you see the kind of play. And I really like Nicholas Jackson. I've got a lot of time for him. I explained that in yesterday's video. The one that I'm really worried about is Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling's got 6 goals, 21 starts, which is more than every other player in the forward line. He's got 25 appearances, but he only has 6 goals. And the amount of chances he misses is ridiculous. Like, he's 29 years old. He should be doing better. He should be more productive. He should be more clinical. And then the problem with him playing so many minutes and not being productive is you're taking minutes away from a Noni Madueke. You're taking minutes away from a Mikhailo Mudryk. And when I looked at Mudryk's stats, Mudryk's got 4 goals this year in the Premier League in 10 starts. He's had 10 starts, 21 games played. And some of these 21 games, like, he's coming on for 3-4 minutes. Like, it's just not right. It's not enough of an impact time. He's finished 90 minutes twice this season. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. He's on a good run of form. I really hope he plays against Leicester this weekend. I really hope he shines against Leicester and he gives us something to believe in. And because at this moment in time, I really do think if we go on a little run, Cole Palmer can finish on 15 league goals. Nico Jackson can finish on around about 12 to 13. And if you get one more that pushes close to that 10 range, we might get into a position where we can get 6th or 7th. And it's really bad because our initial projections were 4th. but we just have to try to take as much positivity from the season as possible. So what I'm going to ask for you guys to do now is over here, I've got the review that I did yesterday, straight after the game, extremely positive and some constructive criticism. And then if you guys are interested in potentially why I would not want Jose Mourinho to return, 5 reasons why, you could go over here. But like I said, like, comment, and subscribe, and more importantly, go and watch the next videos.